You feel incompetent, trapped, constantly apologizing emotionally, physically, and mentally drained. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, subscribe. Today we're going to be talking about the 10 lesser known sneaky manipulation tricks that those nasty, toxic, narcissistic people use to manipulate you. If you've ever felt like you were walking on eggshells, or a relationship left you doubting your sanity, this video is for you. Let's be honest, most of us have been through enough life experience to notice those red flags when they're waving right in our face. But what about the ones flying so low that they're practically invisible? These subtle tricks can leave you drained, confused, questioning yourself, questioning your perception of reality without even realizing why. Sound familiar? Stick around, because today we're going to be uncovering 10 little known tricks that narcissistic and toxic people use to manipulate you. Once you know these tricks, you'll be able to start reclaiming your power. So, trick number 1, we're calling Administrativa. Ever had someone take control of all the boring stuff like household finances, or family logistics, and then use it against you? That's called Administrativa. It's when a narcissist, or just a very nasty, toxic person, weaponizes bureaucracy to make you dependent on them. They do this while simultaneously blaming you for any issues in this administrative process, blaming you for any hiccups that occur. Imagine this. They insist on handling the family budget, but suddenly forget to pay an important bill. Or maybe they create complicated systems just to keep you tied up in knots, trying to perform simple tasks. The result, you feel incompetent, trapped, while they hold all the cards. Pro tip: start documenting everything. Keep documents of emails, texts, phone bills. Knowledge isn't just power, it's freedom. Something else which is not so subtle, which a narcissistic person is going to do, they're going to make it very difficult to leave the relationship. They're going to use lawfare against you, particularly if you have children. They will make it very difficult for you to see the children. They will make you need to keep going backwards and forwards through the court system to get access to see your own children. Tactic number 2 is conversational narcissism. Raise your hand if you've ever had the experience of speaking with someone, sharing your personal story with someone, only to have the other person hijack that conversation. Enter conversational narcissism. This tactic is all about making every conversation revolve around them. They might respond to your heartfelt story with something like, "Oh, that reminds me of my situation. That reminds me of when this happened to me." They'll completely ignore your stories. They'll completely ignore you when you're talking, or worse, they'll look visibly bored. They'll be playing with their phone or staring out the window. They might be rehearsing their next big monologue in their head rather than listening to you. Here's the kicker. Over time, you stop sharing because you know you won't be heard. And guess what? That's exactly what they want. They want to silence your voice and amplify theirs. Tactic number 3 is manufactured victimhood. The classic poor me act. Narcissistic people twist situations to paint themselves as the perpetual victim, even when logic says otherwise. Picture this. You ask them to do something straightforward. You say, oh, could you pop into the dry cleaners for me on your way home from work? I've got a jacket that I need to collect, but I'll be on the other side of town tonight. I know you go past that way when you finish work. Would you mind just popping in there for me and grabbing that jacket or suit or whatever it is? The toxic person is going to mess it up and then blame you for being unclear. Or they will provoke arguments and then act shocked when you respond, saying, I can't believe you treat me this way. This leaves you constantly apologizing and tiptoeing around their fragile ego. Let's be honest, no one should live their life walking on eggshells. Tactic number 4 is strategic incompetence. Ever noticed how some people conveniently become clueless when responsibility comes knocking? They'll claim they don't know how to load the dishwasher correctly, to cook, or heaven forbid, fold laundry or do ironing. Eventually, you throw up your hands and you say, I'm tired of this mess, and you do it yourself. But here's the catch. Once you step in and do it, they will accuse you of being controlling or micromanaging them. It's a double whammy designed to shift the workload onto you while gaslighting you into thinking it's your fault. Tactic number 5 is intellectual bullying. If you've ever felt talked down to or steamrolled, that's intellectual bullying. These toxic people use big words, obscure references, and elaborate arguments to make you doubt your intelligence. For example, they might say something like, well, obviously quantum physics proves my point, even though you're only talking about dinner pans. When challenged, they move the goalposts faster than you can blink. Intelligence isn't about showing off. It's about understanding. Don't let anyone bully you out of trusting your own brain. Tactic number 6 is catastrophizing. And toxic people love drama. I did a whole video on why toxic people love drama. You can find a link to it up there. Narcissistic people love turning molehills into mountains. They have mastered the art of blowing minor situations completely out of proportion, leaving you feeling drained emotionally, physically, and mentally drained. Did you forget to text them back? Suddenly, it's a sign that you don't care about the relationship. Did you leave a fork in the sink? Cue the apocalypse. Living in crisis mode constantly is exhausting, and that is precisely the point. It keeps you too busy trying to put out fires to address the real problem. The real problem is them. Tactic number 7, counterfeit intimacy. It's like glitter. It looks all shiny from afar, but it crumbles under scrutiny. These individuals share dramatic stories or fake vulnerabilities to create a false sense of closeness, of intimacy. But there's a catch. Their revelations are always conveniently timed to guilt trip you or to gain intel about your weaknesses. Real intimacy requires mutual vulnerability, not one-sided performance. Tactic number 8 is toxic helping. I used to have an aunt who would be very narcissistic, constantly attacking me, putting me down, being very verbally spiteful. When I became older, I started to challenge her on this, and she said, "Oh, I was only trying to help." Toxic helping is the ultimate backhanded compliment. They swoop in to save the day, but somehow their help creates more problems than solutions. Maybe they rearrange your schedule without asking, leaving you scrambling to fix it. Or they offer unsolicited advice that makes you feel ungrateful for not accepting it. Or they tell you what they think you should do, and then when you do it, they criticize you because it all went wrong and fell down around your ears. True support empowers you. It doesn't control you. Tactic number 9 is ambient forgetting. We could also call it strategic forgetting because it's strategic amnesia. Narcissistic people employ it to avoid accountability. They promise to help you move and then slips their minds. Over time, you'll find yourself second guessing your own memory and keeping meticulous records just to prove your own reality. Trust me, it's saddening, but recognizing this tactic is half the battle. Finally, number 10 is tactical genuineness. The Oscar-worthy performance designed to disarm you. The moment you start trying to set boundaries, they break down in tears, say things like, "I'm just trying to be honest," or like my aunt, "I'm just trying to help." These moments are designed to make you question your instincts and trigger your empathy. Don't fall for it. Genuine connection doesn't come with strings attached. These tactics fly under the radar, but now you're aware of them, you'll be able to see them for what they are. Tools of control disguised as everyday behavior. Remember, the confusion and self-doubt you feel aren't signs of weakness. They're genuine responses to manipulation. If you like this video, found it useful, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. If you know anyone who needs to be made aware of the tactics I've discussed in this video, share it with them. Thank you for watching. See you next time.